The psychedelic revolution is here. If you want to integrate your visionary experiences into your purpose, get clear on your entrepreneurial path, and help people while you do what you love, then this podcast is for you. Welcome to The Psychedelic Entrepreneur, Medicine for These Times. I'm your host, Beth Weinstein. I'm a spiritual business coach, 3-time entrepreneur, and a lifelong student of psychedelics and sacred plant medicines. You carry your own unique medicine, and your medicine is what we need for these times. This podcast will help you to share your medicine so you can create transformation in the world. Listen in on conversations with psychedelic leaders, changemakers, and conscious entrepreneurs who are living proof that a better world is possible when you follow your heart and live in alignment with your soul. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to The Psychedelic Entrepreneur. I'm coming to you live from my new Airbnb here at the beach in Costa Rica. So earlier today, I had a call with someone who was interested in joining my True Path Entrepreneur group mastermind program. This is my 12-month business coaching program that teaches you the exact steps you need to know to start and grow your own spiritual coaching, healing, psychedelic, or transformational business so that you can make money doing work that you love while helping more people. So on this call, this guy who booked this call with me wanted to start up a business as a trip sitter. If you don't know what a trip sitter is, it's someone who just wants to give people mushrooms and watch them trip. And I will tell you now why I feel that trip sitting is not a viable business for you. So what I said to him was, look, he wanted help on how do I get clients? How do I grow this into a business? How do I make it so that it supports me? How do I make money by, just doing mushroom ceremonies or one-on-one work with mushrooms? And here's what I always have to say about this. So yes, of course, we all know there are people out there who make their living by holding medicine space, by having ceremonies, facilitating, mushrooms, ayahuasca, whatever it is, DMT, I could go on and on. But here's the thing. If that's really your true calling and that's all you really want to be doing and that's like what your heart is set on, then go for it. But I cannot really help you grow that business. Why? Because it is 100% illegal pretty much everywhere. So even in the places where these things are decriminalized, there are limitations. So don't go thinking that just because you maybe live in Oregon, then you can just now start trip sitting for people. Yes, the reality is it's happening everywhere, even though it is illegal. But I cannot help you grow this into a legitimate, viable business because you are going to be doing something illegal. And if you start marketing something that is just purely illegal, there's a good chance that you might actually get in trouble. So what I am a fan of instead is teaching you how to build a legitimate business that also then involves maybe some trip sitting if that's what you feel called to do. So my clients, I do not work with anyone who's just a facilitator because you don't really need a business coach to be a facilitator because you're not going to be out there promoting it or, marketing it or sharing about it on Instagram because you'll be taken down. That's the reality of the world we live in. Instagram does not let you share things that are blatantly illegal. They will remove your posts. But what I do teach is how to build a legitimate business that you can grow and scale so that it actually really supports you. Here's the thing with these trip sitting people. Yes, of course, we all know there's people out there charging thousands and thousands of dollars, and then there's some that are not. But there is a limit. And I do not believe it's a fully scalable business, meaning there is a limit to how many people you can actually serve. If you want to go open a retreat center in a country where it's legal, that's different. Or if you want to go take large groups on retreats, that's also different. But if you're just doing it in your home where you want to work with people in small groups, then there is a limitation. And I do not believe that this best serves you or the others in your circle that you want to be working with. So what I teach is a way instead to actually grow a legitimate business around the work with psychedelics that you're feeling called to do. So here's the reality. Psychedelics do not fix everything in one session, and we all know that. Otherwise, we would only do it once, and that would be that. So we all know that it takes a lot more than just this one experience or that one experience or going to 10 ceremonies or doing mushrooms 20 times. It is the integration and the day-to-day and the inner work and the support that really helps someone have the healing and transformation that they're looking for when it comes to the work with psychedelics and sacred plant medicines. So it's not just that one experience, right? And yeah, I'm sure you can figure out how to create a business where you're just giving people the mushroom experience over and over and over. But how is that truly serving them? How is that really helping them if they're not getting support in their healing path, in their integration, in the day-to-day, in healing their trauma or the energy that's trapped in their body or whatever it is that they're going through? And the reality is, and this is what I said to this person earlier on this call, is there are more and more people facilitating this work every single day. And additionally, there are more and more actual licensed therapists facilitating this work. We do know that this is a growing area. There are many companies that are putting money into this, and there's more and more opportunities to do more regulated, meaning like licensed psychedelic therapy work than ever before, right? And this is only going to keep growing. MAPS has a vision to put in healing centers across the country and maybe even across the world. And I'm sure it's not just MAPS. I'm sure there are other people who are putting in healing centers. For example, I just interviewed Dr. Dan on my 3 episodes ago, where he speaks about the healing center that he's helping to run in Austin, Texas. So there's more and more of these healing centers, and they know, and we all know, that when these medicines become legalized, the healing centers are just going to convert to psychedelic healing centers. So over time, you are going to actually have more and more, competition. I don't like to use that word, but you're going to have more and more. There's going to be more and more people out there who are offering the same exact thing you are. And here's where the conundrum lies. So why should I go to you as my trip sitter versus the other guys that I've been working with for many years, or versus doing it at home by myself, or growing my own mushrooms and just having my own inner journey, or doing it with someone who I trust, or doing it with my friends, or doing it with my therapist? I could go on and on. And here's where it becomes important to really distinguish how your trip sitting business is different than, any of these other opportunities. And this is why I'm more of a fan of creating a real sustainable business that is actually legal than just doing one-on-one or small group facilitation work. I do not personally believe that the answers lie in the mushrooms or the DMT or the MDMA. I do believe that the real results come through the support and integration work. That is the whole premise of a lot of this podcast. And for those of you who have been working with psilocybin and other plant medicines and other psychedelics over the years, you can probably see this in your own life. When did your real transformation happen? When did you really get the real results? Yes, I know these sacred medicines are great and they are profound healers, and I've had my life change in huge ways from them. But the real transformation has come through working with others, through a coach, through a healer, through multiple coaches and healers, through a therapist, through doing somatic work, doing embodiment work, going deep into mindset shifts, really understanding how to heal my traumas. So another thing I said to this person was, look, you can go do this. I think it's fine. Who am I to judge what's right or wrong? That is not my responsibility. And I do not believe there is a right or wrong. But I did say to this person, look, this is my own personal projection, but as someone who wants to hold space, I really feel that instead of something like business coaching, what you really need to do is some other training around, let's say, somatic therapy techniques or healing trauma, or really understanding how to hold the space in a safe way. And there are many different training programs out there who can teach you this. And it's not just these psychedelic integration training programs, but there's other training programs that really teach you how to understand what is actually happening in the human body and in the energy field while someone is processing through the traumas or experiences or whatever it is that comes through the actual medicine experience. So again, there's much more to it than just being a trip sitter. And I personally, I get it if that's really what you're feeling called to, but I personally believe that just giving people the psychedelic experience without any other support is actually doing a disservice to their growth and transformation. Obviously, my shaman does not offer integration services. He is not an integration coach. He just pours medicine. But the guy's been doing it for 30 years and also lives in the jungle in Peru. It's very different, right? But, this person I spoke to today is just someone who's like been on this path and done this and that and done some trainings and taken some programs. And I get it. And he's like, I'm just called into medicine. And I was blatantly honest and I said, great, I get it. But really, you have to question, like, are you willing to just risk putting all your eggs into this one basket that not only is a lot of energy to hold, but it's also illegal? And I told him I really believe that there's much more to it than just being a trip sitter. This is my personal opinion. This is my professional opinion. And what I've seen over the years when I work with clients who do work with medicines in addition to coaching, in addition to therapy, in addition to healing modalities, in addition to, I could go on, like, trauma and somatic work, embodiment work and breath work and so on and so on. That is the deeper level change that you can help the client with. And it's also better for you because then you can actually start to grow this as a legitimate business that is completely legal, where you can get clients that maybe aren't ready for that or that aren't called to the medicine or maybe don't want to go have to do mushrooms every single weekend. I mean, it's not about the mushrooms over and over and over. It's not about just the medicine. It's much deeper than that. So I'm a big fan of teaching people how to grow legitimate businesses that support them no matter what happens. Meaning we do not actually know the legal future of psychedelics and sacred plant medicines. Yes, it seems to be going in the direction of one day this will all be legal, but we actually have no idea how that's really going to look. We have no idea how it's going to be regulated. Even in Oregon, if you look at what's going on, it's not just like, oh, and now it's legal and everyone can go do it. It's, there's a lot of red tape. There's still bureaucracy and government involved. So keep in mind, it does take time for systems to change. And yes, things are changing fast, but there's also a reality to it. So I've always been a fan of never having all your eggs in a one basket and really being diverse in your business, having an online business, having an in-person business, having different ways of reaching your audience, and also having a completely legitimate legal business that fully supports you in your work, in your path, in your lifestyle, in the world that you want to create. So that is just all I have to say. It's a very quick episode about how I feel about trip sitting, and there's nothing wrong with it. Look, I'm not here to judge, and I'm a really big fan of, the people I work with. But, some of the people who I've been working with for many, many years, they do other things. Some are professional musicians, some are holding other healing spaces, some are therapists. And that's actually how they make the majority of their living. And then the psychedelic work is in addition to, it's like the cherry on top. So I highly encourage you to just think about this if you are thinking of just having a business, doing nothing but trip sitting. And if you want a legitimate business that really supports you, the group mastermind, my 12-month True Path Entrepreneur group mastermind program, is open for enrollment now. We start in January, but you can join at any time. There's a main cohort that tends to join in January and February. So I encourage you, if you've been considering growing a legitimate business and learning how to get clients and having a business that truly supports you so that you can help people while doing work you love and making money that you want that truly supports you, I highly encourage you to apply to the mastermind program and book a call with me to learn more. And together we can go over all the details and find out if this program is the right fit for you and what it is that you want in your business and in your future and in your life. Lots of love to you, and I will see you next Tuesday for another episode on The Psychedelic Entrepreneur. Bye. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you're feeling inspired, I'd appreciate it if you showed your love with a review. And check out my YouTube channel where you can find the video version of this podcast. You can also head to bethaweinstein.com to learn more about me and grab my free business growth trainings. Remember, you carry your own unique medicine, and your medicine is what we need for these times.